Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name's Andy, Corporate Commander TFW, and I'm joined this week by my paint supply man himself. It's Mikey G-Wolfie3. Hello, Mikey.
I can't think of anything to put after that one.
Excellent. Again, I was searching my desk and I saw paint stuff and I was like, okay, that'll do.
Your desk must be a magical place.
It is. Well, yeah. What can I say? It's where I keep all my fancy things. All of the things that Andy likes.
Mine's covered in robot women's.
Oh, well, you know, you got to fill it with something. The problem is with dusting, though, as ever.
True, and the only one I can see round the corner of my laptop is Black Arachnia.
The boobs come!
That was not on purpose. It's just like she's the furthest left.
How you doing this week, Mikey? How's the Mikey feeling?
I'm not too bad, not too bad. What about you, Andy?
Yeah, can't complain. A little bit on the warm side as the heating's on, but it'll turn off in half an hour and then I'll start getting really cold. So, yeah, it's winter and that's just kind of what you got to deal with. But we're going to jump straight into the crappy news for this week because that's just how it goes. And I start off with this one in particular, and although it's kind of crappy, I think it's kind of neat as well. To a point.
To a point.
As these are the limited edition licensed Transformers notebooks by Moleskin. I really wish they left off the E, so it was just Moleskin.
I think that's the joke.
Yeah, but it would have been better if it was Moleskin than Skine.
I think people may assume something about the product then and be a little bit uncomfortable in this PETA-driven age.
It's made from the flesh of moles. The great hunt for that quality moleskin for your notebooks.
We actually dye them while they're still alive, and then we skin them.
They get the Optimus Prime and the Megatrons on them while they're still breathing. Yep. Oh, that's dark. Yes,
and they can't see it coming because they're moles.
No, that's right, yeah. Stupid moles. There's a heroic Autobot Optimus Prime and an evil Decepticon Megatron. Now, why are these not kind of crappy news, but also crappy news? Because the style of them is that of sort of a semi-ish kind of G1-y instruction book. Sort of. It's got the layout and everything. It's just got a much better rendered new version of Optimus Prime in there as well. So,
to a point.
Well, it's not the one that they use for the original instructions. Is what I'm getting at least.
Well, and I was talking about, like, well rendered. I'm really hoping that's not the Optimus that's going to be on the actual, like, finished product.
Why is that?
Because they made a boo-boo with the printing.
No, I think if you look on the edge of the book, I see what you're saying, because the top half it has a bit of cut. Well, not even top half.
Like, basically, he's split in half, but it's, like, slid over in a million ways.
Yeah, one top is coloured, the other half, for the background is coloured, the bottom half is not coloured. If you look on the seam, the right-hand side, you can see it kind of flips over into the page, so that I think that's just like a really small paper cover that you'd get on like a hardback.
Oh, and like there's another, like you slipped it off and there's a regular Optimus underneath it.
Yeah. It's only for that very small bit. That's why it's completely off as well.
I hope so, because otherwise, now I want it to be wrong. Now I want him to have double boobs.
Just to make it look weird.
Yep.
Apparently this is from the company which is famous for manufacturing similar notebooks for franchises such as Game of Thrones, Monions, Lord of the Dings, and The Rolling Homes, and many more.
Can you really be famous for manufacturing similar notebooks?
I don't think so.
Like, wow, it's them. Them, what?
Who?
They're the guys. They made the game. They made the Daenerys notebook.
I like the idea that kids are like flipping their shit for these the latest Moleskines. They're like, oh, you don't have the latest Moleskine, then you can get the fudge out of my school. You ain't cool.
Start hurling old school notebooks at them.
Who needs Reebok? So the product description is Moleskine limited edition notebook Transformers. It's large ruled.
Yay.
I don't know what that means. Something. Hardcover. Price is $24.95. The publisher, again, Moleskin. Release date is the 2nd of May 2018, so within the next few weeks. Ha ha ha.
Ha ha.
And the language is in English, even though it's a notebook, so I would expect it to be empty.
I would expect the language to be up to you.
I like the idea that it's got on the inside of the cover, like, please do not write in anything but English.
English only, please.
Yeah, English only.
And you try to write it in, like, I don't know, katakana, and it just starts evaporating on the page.
Yeah, it's like special high-tech paper which can sense it. Oh, this isn't Roman numerals and Roman letters. Get the fuck out.
People try to get around it by using, like, ye olde English.
Even when people try and use French and they put the French accent above the E, it's like, whoa, mate, what are you doing? Get rid of that shit. What do you think of these, Mikey? Because they are exactly what they are.
They're harmless enough.
Yes, they are better than the Christmas decorations we talked about recently.
Well, yes, because I'm sure they're more competently painted.
Yes.
No.
Is $24.95 a lot for a notebook? Because it seems
Quite a
to
bit.
be.
Quite a bit.
I know it's limited. It says it's limited edition. Granted, it doesn't say how many are made. So what that actually means by limited, I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I am wondering if there is like a notebook collector's market. There must be.
Oh, there's a collector's market for anything.
I don't know. It's okay. I'm not exactly flipping my tables over it, but.
It would be something that if I was in the market for school supplies, like actually, this would actually be quite good for me making notes for videos and for the podcast rather than the envelopes I get from the bank, which I currently use. Don't waste paper, kids. But this would be a little bit more thematic, I suppose. But this is something like if I had money that I was just like, I'll just burn some money. I don't really care. But $25 is money towards something that I'd actually prefer. But it's neat, so it's fine. We got more crappy news, Mikey. But this, I'll explain why this is in the crappy news.
I can think of several reasons.
This is the Japanese bakery Pira Roll, something like that, to offer Transformer-themed Christmasu kekideses. So this is a thing in Japan that seems to happen a lot, especially around the Christmas time, is they have themed cakes. And in this time period, being 2017, we have Transformers The Last Night to celebrate, obviously, the movie, in quotation marks, celebrate the movie. There will be Christmas cakes, macaroons. What is a macaroon?
I think it's a kind of sort of... I don't see them, but I've never known... It's a kind of sweet cake thing.
Oh, because I've always heard of a macaroon, but I've never seen one.
Well, they're down here. They're in the pictures, I think. Yeah, they are.
Which one's the macaroon? Is it the folded round thing?
The flat ones.
Oh, those things. Oh, okay. With the green bottoms and the red bottoms.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a macaroon. Okay, I've never had one of them. They look
None
weird.
for you.
Good. There are roll cakes, which I remember mainly being done into caterpillars back in my day.
Gotta go.
And cupcakes, and they all feature Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Squeaks, and Megatron because there were literally no other Transformers in that movie. Haha.
Squeaks mattered.
he mattered.
He was ugly. It's literally called out.
They won't shoot you because you're ugly. The price ranges from 2,160 yen to 2,916 yen. So not a lot,
No.
Especially compared to what me and you would buy from Japan. These are of a cheaper price.
Yes, but I'm not entirely sure I'm ready to import a cake yet.
No, I'm not at that stage in my life. I'm not sure I'll ever be at that stage of my life.
Importo keiko.
I'm good. Unfortunately, it's not available to those of us outside of Japan because they're racist in Japan, clearly. But this is still
and he
an
does not speak for
interesting...
Moonbase 2 podcast. His opinions are his own. We do not endorse him.
I am the Moonbase 2 podcast. No, I'm not, though. Because Mikey's also a portion of it. A good portion.
You can be...
It's an interesting oddity, and if you're over in Japan or whatever, you can buy these things. So, Mikey, the reason I've put these in the crappy corner is because of how lackluster they are.
Oh, they're shit.
I say this based on the very lackluster Kamen Rider cake adverts we've seen, or at least I've seen over the years through like TV Nihons when they sub and dub when they sub Kamen Rider Christmas cake adverts. And there's more to them. There's usually some strawberries and some other crap on it, but this is just a cake with a
Bad
whatever
print.
whatever.
Well, it's an okay print.
Yeah, it's whatever a Christmas, whatever a cake tampograph is. Like, I don't know the term for that, but
Cakeograph.
cake. Oh, get that fucking patented, Mikey. You're gonna make millions in the cake industry, I can tell you that much. But it's all artwork that we've seen before, so they're quite disappointing. And I'm not suggesting that I wanted a Optimus Prime cake that transformed. I'm just saying if they did that, I'd respect them for it. But I'd also put it in the crappy corner because I'd be like, "What are you doing with your life?" So I was never going to be happy. Mikey, tell me of your need for Christmas cakey desses.
I don't actually like Christmas cake.
I like normal cake on
I
Christmas.
like chocolate cake.
But yeah, if it's got
I also
fruit
like
and
Rice
shit
Krispie
in,
cake,
then
but
no.
that's basically death.
Rice Krispie cake, you say?
Mm.
Why is it death?
Oh, because it's nothing but chocolate. You're basically inhaling chocolate.
Why is that a terrible thing?
Because eventually you will actually die from diabetes, even if you don't have diabetes.
Okay.
Like there is so much sugar in that you will just start twitching on the floor, and you'll still be trying to eat it.
Oh. Merry Christmas.
Ho 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 ho! Don't do drugs, kids.
Just do diabetes, I guess.
Get high on life.
Chocolate's better.
What's that one from the Deadpool one? Do hugs, not drugs.
Do hugs, not drugs.
That Deadpool trailer, man.
It's pretty good.
It was good.
So following on from Kid Robot that we talked about, I think last week, where they did the little PVC figures. Kid Robot are also doing Transformers vs. G.I. Joe keychains. It's the same guys from before, who were in the PVC models. So there's Scarlet, Prime, Ultra Magnus, Wheeljack, Starscream, blah 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 blah. All those guys. They're all available. If you want some stuff, you can get that. It's a display tray, contains 24 randomly selected keychains. Is apparently part of this thing.
I don't like that word random.
No, I'm not sure exactly what it means. Whether that means you'd get duplicates or
Just
what.
like, wow, I bought a tray. You got 6 Optimuses.
Yay, my favorite. I mean, if you like the PVC figures, I don't have a price, so I can't see a price on these at all. But
no.
if you're into that, but you didn't want a PVC figure, you just like the design and how they looked. Oh no, I found it, Mikey.
How much?
I don't think you want to know.
I do want to know.
No, you don't.
Is this for 1 or for 24?
I assume for 20. I hope for 24. I really hope for 24, Mikey. Oh, it is for 24.
24, which is random, which means you may have to buy 2 or 3. Holy hell!
Yeah, right?
140, 399.
I told you wouldn't like it.
I don't think anyone likes it, because I was about to say I actually like these a lot more than the PVCs.
No, not that much more.
No, because I like, oh, what, for like a €5 or €6, I'd totally pick up that Soundwave or one of those Grimlocks, because it's just a neat little thing to have in your keys, and the stylized thing works better in this sort of format, or like one of the little G.I. Joe figures. I'd love a little, like, maybe get the Scarlet or the Baroness, because I do like those designs.
Yeah.
But, holy hell!
It does say in the description the breakdown is not available at this time and is subject to change, so maybe there will be more. Item selection is random. Items are in blind bag packaging.
Oh my god.
We cannot accept requests for specific items, nor can we accept returns on opened items. You may receive duplicates. You might be really. I really wish it continued, and it said you may get 24, but they might all be the same one.
No, are you fucking joking me?
That would be impressive.
You cannot do blind bags for nearly $150.
24 of them though.
No, you can't.
But Mikey.
No.
The shipping's free.
No, Andy. No.
Free shipping in the US.
Free shipping in giant blue letters, like screaming, "Oh, it's okay, the shipping's free," and it's good, because you'll have to, spend like 300 or 50 or something to get all of them. 550, 450, 700. You just keep on buying them, desperate to get that last one. Oh my god, or some of these like chase things.
Oh, that would be really bad. Like, you know that blue Grimlock? I could see that, and the Ultra Magnus. They could be chase ones.
Fuck the write-off. These should be like like I said 6. These should really be like €2 or €3 in your local Tesco.
Yeah.
And like, because that's all it is. Okay, maybe it's made of metal. €5.
They're about $6 each.
Now that's expensive for, that's still okay, like, okay, somebody would go say, well, $6, it's not that much. Okay, if you're desperate to have all of them, but they're fucking blind bagged! Yeah. Which means that your $6 each multiplies, because there is no fucking way you're going to be the one to get the tray of 24 individual ones. There is no way. There's just no way. Oh my god. Because Kamen Rider does this. Kamen Rider does like the boxes and the gachapons and stuff like that. And then, oh, right, so you have a chance of getting repeats if you buy these in the shops. Mm-hmm. And when they're being sold online, you know what they do? They sell you the entire box. So you are guaranteed to get the figures you want.
Did we actually find out how much the PVC figures were being sold for?
Oh, oh my god, the Megatron's down is 50
on its own.
Oh my god. That's a 7-inch. I think he's taller than the other one though. He has to be tall. Minifigures series display box 240. Yeah.
But Mikey, please note, selection is random. Items are in blind bag packaging. Oh! We cannot accept requests for specific items. You may receive duplicates.
You're fucking joking me.
I don't think I am.
I don't know what else to... Fuck me sideways.
But Mikey, the shipping's free on these ones as well.
You know those seals clapping? That's what I'm doing right now. My fucking god. I just like, no, we will not give you ones that you're missing. Like this should be like, oh, if you're alright, 6 per in the shops, and you spend this much per blah blah blah. You're stupid enough to spend it on a blind bag that you don't know what you're getting that many times. If you're willing to spend $144 in a shop over and over and over again trying to get that one guy, it's your business. When you have said, I wish to buy the complete set, 1, you should be getting a fucking discount.
You'd hope so.
And 2, when you're saying, I would like to buy a set of 24, please, you should be sold a set of 24. Not a set of 10, oh, by the way, you're going to have to buy another one. We don't sell them individually, so you're going to have to buy another box set. Or better yet, they do sell them individually, but they sell them individually in blind bags. I'm actually raging. I don't often properly rage on this show. I make it up. It's all a lie usually, but this is one of those moments where I'm just like, even if I cared. Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Surprising, isn't it?
Just a tad.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where to go from there. So, Mikey.
I have bad news this week, guys. I've got some crap. Well, so, XV over on Twitter got Power of the Primes Jazz, and he was having a look at it, and Power of the Primes Jazz, under the Autobot symbol, has Cybertronian writing. That, the alphabet made up by Jim Sorensen, which is a pretty simple cipher where you just swap A for symbol, B for symbol, whatever. And the writing's really small, and it was really hard to read in hand, so he blew it up and tried to figure out what it was. One of his friends came in and translated it. There are 4 symbols, and it is MAGA. This caused something of a storm, because MAGA stand for Make America Great Again.
Ah.
Which, if you have been living under a rock for the last couple of years, that is the slogan of the Trump campaign. Now, first of all, I'm just going to preface this that this is independent of my political views, and I'm assuming Andy's, partly because neither one of us are living in America, and partly because it's not necessarily the message that's the problem here.
No.
It's that someone decided to put in a political message on a child's toy, in a really weird way, which feels really, really petty. Like
Yeah.
someone was sitting there going like, yeah, this is my dig at the man. I've got MAGA in. Woo! I'm not influencing literally anyone because children don't know what this says. And it's too small anyway. They probably don't even realize it's there. But this caused a bit of a stir on Twitter. A few friends of ours that we know on Twitter mutually, they sent off messages to Hasbro. A bunch of other people did. And then IO9 found out.
Oh, good.
Yep. And then it spread. I found 7 or 8 different articles on various websites, including Bleeding Cool and CBR. And Hasbro gave an official response. And they said, it was brought to our attention that a graphic appears on one of our Transformers figures that, when translated from Cybertronian letters to English, spells out MAGA. We investigated the issue and discovered that one of our vendors, I believe in this context they're using vendor in exchange for a freelance graphic designer.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Inserted this as part of the design without authorization. We are addressing this with the vendor, i.e. he's sacked or she's sacked. We do not intend for our products to carry political messages and apologize to anyone who is offended by this. 2 things. One, Jazz is coming out in Wave 4, so I suspect Wave 4 Jazzes will look a little bit different.
Yes. Oh, yes, there'll be a variant now. There'll be a special variant.
Yeah, well, that was the other thing is I kind of want a Wave 1 Jazz now for kind of the same reason I wanted Power Core Combiner's drag strip.
No, what was his name?
I can't say it. We're in the countries where it matters. If I was in America, it'd be fine, but it's not a good thing to say here.
No, it's not.
You know, it's not like, oh my god, I have to have this. But if I saw Jazz, I wasn't even interested in getting Jazz. I think he looks kind of poor.
Yes, agreed.
But if I saw Jazz now in like Smiths or something, considering Wave 1 is probably going to, it's probably going to, be the only chance to get this, I would pick a Jazz up just to have it, because this is kind of our little bit of history again. I do love these little moments of like, oh, remember when? But yeah, it's not a good thing to do. I don't like people shoving politics on children. I also don't like people shoving politics in as a dig at anyone. No matter what, whether you're Republican, Democrat, conservative, liberal, whatever. I saw someone who said, who put it very well, just like, I am an ardent, supporter of Trump, and if someone had put a message saying up Hillary or go for Hillary, I don't know what Hillary's slogan was, back in the day, I would have been very offended, and he's sure that people who support Democrats are very offended by this, because we saw there was some offense going around.
Well, yeah, there was always going to be. When it comes to politics, that's kind of par for the course.
The fact it was on Jazz of all people as well kind of set people off. But yeah, so it's not a nice thing to do.
No.
And I would perhaps suggest this person not be brought back to work on Hasbro. It kind of reminds me, not nearly as an extreme version, but there was a fellow doing comics a while ago, and he was drawing X-Men, and he did a cover with Kitty.
All right.
And Kitty in the comics, I think, yeah, she's Jewish. And there was something like the way she was blocking a sign, which is like, it turned what the sign was saying into anti-Jewish rhetoric. And then it turned out the guy's like a massive anti-Semite. So he'd been doing it for years.
Oh no.
Yeah, so people went back over his stuff and found like loads of examples of him having digs at Jews and gays and lesbians and everything.
Oh
like,
no.
Yeah. So this is our tiny, insignificant, almost minute little version of this, where one guy was sitting there doing basically tempoing an Autobot symbol in the design process and going like, okay, we put black square there, we put the Autobot symbol there, looked around carefully, went on to TFWiki, right, this is in there and it's so small, no one will ever know. Little did he know, nerds. Do you have any thoughts on this, Andy?
It's weird, man. It's weird.
It's really weird.
Yeah. Like I say, it's going to be a weird variant that people might hunt out for in the future, or might not. I don't know. Do you want to take the next story as well, since I talked for a bit?
Yeah, so Fans Toys have revealed images for their FT30 Etherion, their Masterpiece scale aerial bots, and Superion. now they've done the usual thing of showing one bot in clear relief and the rest in fuzzy photos, including his alt mode for some reason, and a really odd silhouette of Superion.
Yeah.
Which it took me a while to figure out that's supposed to be his hand reaching forward.
Is it? Oh, yeah, of course. Oh.
Yeah. So these are shared by TFW member Dalian JJ? Dalianj? I don't know. These are renders and prototypes of the new incarnation of the Aerobots. New prototype pics and renders of Silverbolt. Their Silverbolt version is one we can see, and blurry versions of the rest. And I just remembered, just quick aside, apparently the designer of the Jazz toy was on a G.I. Joe podcast that hasn't aired yet.
Which Jazz toy, sorry?
The Power to Prime Jazz.
Okay, right.
He was on, I saw this in TFW, he was on a G.I. Joe podcast which hasn't aired yet, and they've cut him out.
Oh, okay.
So his section won't be on it, so I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, anyway, we've got Silverboat. He is pretty cartoon accurate, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
And his nose cone in jet mode can be folded down, so he can be a Concorde.
I like that. That's a neat idea.
That's neat.
I mean, it does have a gap, a noticeable gap in it when you do that, but, you can have it like the old jets that... I mean, when did they go out of, let's say, fashion?
In the last 10 years, I'd say.
Yeah, because they had a tendency to explode or something, didn't they?
They weren't the most reliable planes in the world.
Yeah, and when you're, in a plane, most people want that safety feeling.
Yeah, maybe. I think that's why it went supersonic, just so go, 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 go. How much time we have? It could blow at any minute. Go, 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 go. We're there. We're there. We're fine. We're good. The important thing about this is this seems to have accomplished what has evaded people in official and unofficial circles for several decades and hidden Silverbolt's undercarriage.
Woo! To a point.
To a large point. You can still see something there.
Yeah.
But he's a lot smoother than normal. It's not a robot.
Yeah.
It's not an entire robot looking at you.
It's probably as clean as it's ever going to be without it being magic.
What's your thoughts on this guy, then?
Yo! Aerial bots. Am I right, guys? They're pretty boring. They're pretty... Well, there's always going to be some people that look at them fondly, but for me, I'll always think of them as the most boring team. I can't think of another combiner team that's as fucking dull as these guys. From G1.
But Andy, Silverbolt's afraid of flying.
Yep, he sure is. That was a huge part of the cartoon series.
Slingshot's a dick.
Yeah, well, aren't we all? I will say that from the looks of the robot mode, it looks like a pretty damn solid robot mode. He doesn't have any noticeable wings, which is pretty impressive. So they've tidied him up real nicely for the robot mode, and like you say, the plane mode's fairly clean as well. And from the blurry, super blurry silhouettes, the other ones look like they'll probably be fine as well. We don't see Superion, so I assume that's going to look good, because that's usually where most of the time and effort spent on these things. But I just can't get excited for a Superion. I don't know about you. Would you agree with that, Mikey?
There's just been so many.
Well, there's
official,
that too.
Unofficial, and it's Superion, and he's both visually and characterfully the most boring combiner.
Do you think at some point we'll get around to the point where companies that have already done a Superion do a new Superion?
Oh God, yes. No doubt in my mind.
Like a Masterpiece Megatron and a new MP10 Optimus Prime. It's just that'd be a weird point in time if it started doing that kind of stuff. Yeesh. No. Shall I move us on then, Mikey?
Yes.
Okay, well, 3A, as we know, are doing an Optimus Prime, or have done one. Because it's a redo, a repaint, because they're easy and nice to do. Ultra Magnus is coming. It's going to be a Think Geek exclusive, and the orders are online now. It's going to be 16 inches tall, like the Prime, 59 points of articulation, 30% die-cast. So, heavy to kill a child with, probably. And it'll have LED features in it because lights are the bestest ever. And it's also limited to 500 pieces. So if you like your Primes white, there aren't going to be many of them. So you got to get it in there fast. If you're interested, the LEDs are in the optics, the Autobot badge, the blaster rifle, and the matrix chamber, and they require 8 times AG-13 batteries, which are some sort of batteries that people use, and people that know them well. It's got an Autobot matrix, interchangeable blue energon axe, a buster rifle, and removable tankard grenades. I don't know what tankard grenades are. Oh, they're the things on the side of his legs, I guess. I guess they can be held as grenades. That's neat. Yeah. And magnetically removable tire wells. Huh.
They're the tires on the side, so you can take them on him. He looks more like a cartoon character.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense. Any thoughts on this, Mikey? And I know you're always clamping down and you're screaming at me endlessly, almost like a nightmare sequence, constantly telling me how much you want to get Ultra Magnuses.
I like Ultra Magnus.
Mm-hmm.
He's cool. This sure is a white Prime.
Okay.
It sure is a white version of a toy we already had.
Yes, 100%. You are quite right there, Mr. Mikey.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm heading over to ThinkGeek now to let you know, the listener, how much it's going to be. I don't care what you think. If you want him, the listener, he is going to be $389.99 dollars. So yeah, nearly 390. So nearly 400. That's without postage, because I don't see giant postages for free. But when you buy this, he's not blind bagged, so you will get him. At least.
Yeah, I noticed no giant free shipping.
Yeah,
I would love if he was. It's blind bag. What's your chance of getting? I know we found one of these like old World War robot guys in the back.
That'll do.
Throw him into the bag.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's the Black Nemesis Prime version as well, which is on BBTS, or there's this one, or there's the original Prime. So, yeah, go for it if you want him, or if you don't, ignore it and pretend it never came to be.
I'm reading the bio.
Oh, for the Ultra Magnus.
That being truly forced to reckon all the while believing in nothing but a simple soldier. Being said, he recognizes he's an above-average fighter and more than willing to throw himself at multiple enemies. He's the Autobot that can blown up and keep on trucking. Literally. Because he's a truck.
Is that in the bio? Is that you?
That is it. That is in the bio.
Oh, dear. I get it, because he's a truck.
He's a robot. He's a robot man truck.
I get it.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Mikey, do you want to take us away to the next bit of news?
Yeah, so Masterpiece Sunstreaker Images have shown up via the Transformers Generations book, I believe. These showed up on Weibo, and this is a complete set of pictures showing Sunstreaker, a few design concepts, his alt mode, and his transformation. Also shows his accessories, which includes a small boy.
Yay!
A mask and a gun.
And a wheelchair for the boy.
And a wheelchair for the boy. He could walk before, but then Sunstreaker found him.
Well, no, he could walk sometimes when he chose to. When he chose to stand up and celebrate, and then went, oh shit, my cover's blown.
He also had the upper body strength of a god.
Yep.
Just Jesus Christ. So yeah, this is Sunstreaker. This is the first we've seen of him since his announcement, I believe.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. The transformation looks like these days pretty standard Masterpiece.
I think so, yeah.
Some clever tricks. The backpack is surprisingly clean, considering how much they've got going on, and it's a fake backpack. And a fake hood chest as well. But, no, I think he's turned out pretty well. What do you think, Andy?
The robot mode still has a few proportion issues which don't look great, and I'm not sure about the face.
Yeah,
it does. Seems weird.
Looks weird, and it looks even weirder next to the sideswipe when we've seen it.
Yeah, the face kind of looks like, you know, when you see KOs next to the original version, and there's something just not quite right about how the head looks in comparison to the original. That's kind of the feeling I'm getting from this. Like, it's just not quite right.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, it's weird. Another problem I have is his vehicle mode. If you scroll down the TFW link, you can see that it's there's some images, and you can see it's quite gappy. Now, I'm hoping that's just a problem with how the person's transformed it, but there's lots of gaps where the door is, where all from the top it doesn't look too bad, but from the side it's got lots of pieces which need to be, seems like they need to be pushed together better, and I'm hoping that's just someone didn't, transform it correctly. Otherwise, that would be a shame.
Not much else to say about it. Similar pictures showed up of Dinobot during the week, but they are the prototype, and they also basically seem to translate into figure out how I transform, you fools!
The Dinobot one's insane, though.
It's nuts. It's completely and utterly nuts. So I'll just do this one as well very quickly. In the Generations book, they were interviewing the designer of Dinobot, and they said, as for the Beast Wars Masterpiece, I felt the first goal was Dinobot, and the next one was Megatron. So I would like to do my best there. Now, before everyone flips out, this means that he thinks, in his opinion, Dinobot is the most important Beast Wars Masterpiece to do, and then the next most important one is Megatron. It's not him saying, it's confirmed Megatron will be done, it's him saying, I'd love to do Megatron.
Mm-hmm.
Now, hopefully, he is a man with influence and prestige and a gun, so he can make people do what he wants. And can get Megatron out there, because, yeah, this is cool. This is super, super cool if he can get it done, because, oh my god, I would flip out. Also, in the Generations book, they did have Dinobot, Primal, and Cheetor all photographed next to Rattrap and Rhinox, so I am actually assuming we may never get Masterpiece versions of them.
Yeah, I have a feeling that might be true.
Anyway, Andy, any thoughts on the hints of a Masterpiece Megatron?
When you mentioned that the designer said that Dinobot was the most important to do, I think I would agree wholeheartedly on the basis that we've never had a good Dinobot toy until seemingly now. The next being Megatron. Megatron's at least had good toys, but to have him fit in with the line, I would agree that's probably pretty important to have him done as well. So I think this might happen, or might have a greater chance of happening if the Dinobot sells well. Because it might say they might in the company look and go, oh hey, this guy who did Dinobot did a really good job, and this one sold like hotcakes. Maybe we should get him to do another one. Yeah, I think that'd be really, really cool. Yeah.
Hope for the best, really.
Yeah, it's the only thing you can do, really. Shall I take us on,
anyway,
Mr. Mikey?
Take us on, Andy.
Okay. Well, Takara Tomy has the LG EX God Jinrai box set, which we all know and love, and Wayne still hurts himself over to this day, I'm sure. It's unfortunately seems like it's been delayed. So it was meant to come out for the 25th of November, so it was only meant to be a few days away at this point. And it seems like a lot of customers have got an email confirming that it's going to get delayed. And is now it's now set to be coming out on the 2nd of December. So it's not that big of a delay, at least. So, that's a plus, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's a week, basically.
Yeah.
So if you can't hold on a week, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. So I mean, that's all we got there for news. Mikey, do you want to take us on to the next bit?
Yeah, this is a quick little bit. Mattel refuses Hasbro's latest acquisition approach. According to various sites, Hasbro was in merger talks with Mattel, but Mattel has refused proposal due to the low offer from Hasbro. Mattel Inc. slipped in late trading on a report that it rebuffed a takeover approach from rival Hasbro Inc., spurning a deal that could have created the largest US toy maker. Mattel informed Hasbro that the proposal undervalues the company, according to Reuters, which cited unidentified people familiar with the situation. Mattel also had concerns about the transaction being challenged on antitrust grounds. So if you are super excited to have Hasbro presents Mattel, or Mattel is as owned by Hasbro, or, every DC Marvel toy under one roof, I'm afraid maybe wait, you're going to be waiting, basically. Yeah. It's, it's okay. It's nothing. I don't think really we would have been any better off if if Hasbro owned Mattel.
No.
But, yeah, there's not much else to say for that one. Apparently, just funny side note. Bankrupt Toys R Us wants to pay $16 million in executive bonuses.
Oh, well, as long as, rich people get to buy the new pools, that's the main thing.
Yep. You want to take us on to some other news, Andy?
Whenever I hear about these things, I just think isn't that always the case? It seems like you hear about this stuff all the time, like big companies get tax breaks or stuff like that, and it always seems like, oh, does it trickle down to the people that need it the most? No, it's just going to the people who are still rich, and they're not going to feed it back in. No, that's fine. Fantastic. But yeah, let me take us on to tons of Transformers Robots in Disguise. Character art has been popping up on the internet. So the first batch that we've seen comes from the lead character designer himself, Walter Gattus, I think is how you pronounce the name. Some of the known characters include Steeljaw, Jazz, Micronus Prime, Starscream, and Soundwave, and some other dudes as well, some minicons. Jose Lopez.
I think that might be Jose Lopez.
Okay, I'll go with that.
Probably not Jose.
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't want to, we're covering both bases if we both say that. So, if he listens to the show, contact us.
Yeah, we'd love to talk about this kind of stuff. That would be amazing.
Yeah. He includes Blue Sideswipe as one of the concept designs. And we even get a good look at how Chop Shop combination kind of worked conceptually, at least. And it kind of proves to me, or cements in my head once again, that I think the show would have been a lot better if it was just 2D and without any 3D. I think these designs look way better as 2D drawings. What about you, Mikey?
Yep.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I'm just flicking through a few now, and I think they definitely translate better into a 2D realm.
Yeah.
I've always thought that, especially with the humans. I thought the robots got away with it in the end.
To a point.
It's interesting here because you can see, like, this is clearly the design that influenced the toy rather than the one that was in the show of Optimus.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Bumblebee was pretty much the same. I'm just scrolling through, but like, I love this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, the human designs were way different.
I think the way Soundwave looks is way better than how he turned out in the show, mainly because of the colors they used on him.
Yeah, and there's also some, like, the one with what was it, the purple bounty hunter fella. There's like this Hydra Evangelion angel thing. I want him for the bad guy.
Yeah, he's pretty neat.
He needs to be why isn't he the main bad guy?
Did you see the image that is, it's after the Grimlock in dinosaur mode, and it's this weird thing with tentacles coming out of its mouth. It looks like something from Kiss Players, potentially.
Why isn't this the show?
Yeah, that would have been pretty neat.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. Now, I've got to mention on the human page, the dude with the greaser hair and the glasses and the tiny mustache.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Is that meant to be his dad?
I think that's meant to be his dad.
That should have been the design instead of Chris McFeely. I think this design's way better.
Sorry, Chris.
Though granted, this looks like a slimy motherfucker. I think he looks fucking rad.
Yeah.
He looks like he's came off a porno set.
Also, like, I love the alternate Steeljaw look.
Yeah.
Where he's basically, like, Steeljaw is basically a werewolf. And he's a cool design. I would love a decent figure of that design. But this one is way cooler. It's just like proper half man, half wolf, not a wolf on top of a man.
Yeah, I was thinking it looks like a Wendigo.
Yeah, he's just like way more bestial.
Yeah.
And the shorter head as well, I think that really adds to it. And his big hunch. These are really, really cool. And like, you got Jazz, you got what's his name? Scowl. We got
Scowl,
loads of
yeah.
Stockade, who was, I believe, played by Greg Berger. We get the alt mode for Glow Strike. She's a giant firefly. Why wasn't that in the show?
Pretty cool.
Why didn't Glow Strike matter?
Yeah, why didn't she do anything? Because that was a decent looking robot.
Yeah. Oh, wow, look, the alternate designs for her are amazing.
Yeah.
Like, she's using her I don't know what you call it in a firefly, but one's got her looking more sort of mosquito-like and one more beetle-like, and oh, it's vicious.
Yeah, and she was in for a few seconds and then never again.
Yep, she was set up to be a major bad guy.
Yeah.
and then Steeljaw.
Yep. And then the writing decided that she wasn't important, as well as most of the things in the show wasn't important.
Sideswipe was going to be a ye olde vehicle.
That could have been interesting.
Oh my god, a Cybertronian ye olde vehicle would have been amazing. I love it. It's so much better than his actual crappy design. No, it's just that it's a generic car. It's a generic ass car.
Yeah.
Like, Heat Seeker. He's a bit chunkier, I think, but Shadow Raker, who I don't. He was the guy who he had something to do with the guy who looked like Bludgeon. Minicon. Yeah, the 2D element really helps these.
Yeah, I think so.
Starscream looks a bit chunkier, but not too different.
And then you have the Power Surge 2.0, where he decides to go full Gundam.
Yep.
Which
never
is
go
still
full
weird.
Gundam.
Never go full Gundam. Yeah, no, I like this stuff. This is stuff that most of this stuff is stuff I'd have in a picture frame on my wall. For specific characters, really cool. like I'd take the Firefly lady, I'd have that on a wall. I'd have the Soundwave one on the wall. I'd have Shadow Raker.
I'd have the second Steeljaw.
Yeah, you could have that. I'd let you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that. But no,
I also like I also like the Grimlock proportions way better.
Yes, yeah. I don't think they transferred into 3D as well as they did again into 2D.
But they also they made his head bigger and they shortened his tail and everything else and they made him fatter.
Oh, okay.
And that one, I've seen that picture before, and you also see his robot mode is a lot more hunched and normal. He's a lot less goofy looking. And that was when they were planning on giving him a faceplate and everything else. But well, I would love to talk to designers of the show. Seriously, I never get a chance to talk to character designers. I mean, we talk to comic guys, but that's a different thing because they're designing an entire world. They've got to conceptualize all these things, and they also have to do it in the context of scripting and everything else.
Yeah.
Character designers, guys who are hired to be character designers, who come up with ideas for these core characters, and we'll go through and see what we like, see what we don't, and see what sort of matches our vision, kind of thing. That kind of thing super appeals to me.
So, I mean, again, if you listen to the show, you know any character designers, ask them if they want to talk on Moonbase too. Why not?
Yeah,
right?
I'd love to have a chat with them. Just what. Because I've tried designing characters in my head.
Oh, dear.
I can't draw for crap. But
yeah.
I've tried coming up with original characters in my head, and I can't do it. I don't seem to have whatever the wiring is that lets creatives do it. I can't do it.
No.
With the stuff Alex has done with the original female Autobots he made.
Yeah.
For Thunderclash's ship.
Oh, yeah.
The creativity behind them is nuts.
Yeah, and we haven't seen them for ages.
They're probably dead.
Yeah.
But he comes up with full transformation schemes and everything else. And, character designers, especially ones for shows and comics, they're free from the restraints of toys. So I'm always super curious to see how that's all worked out. It's a rare talent. It really is.
But I guess we should move on. So, Mikey, do you want to tell me about this quick little story?
Yeah, Hasbro Studios is attending CTN Animation Expo 2017. Hasbro Studios will entertain crowds attending this year's CTN Animation Expo with a special booth showcasing their current and upcoming lineup of televisual content. Episode directors, writers, and character designers from Transformers franchise will attend the event. While not specifically mentioned, it's likely Transformers Cyberverse and Rescue Bots Academy will be showcased. It's confirmed that the representatives will include Walter Gaddis, who is the lead character designer on Transformers, lead designer for Transformers Prime and Robots in Disguise. Josh Feldman, vice president of storytelling at Hasbro Studios. Patrick Archibald, that's an amazing name. Supervising studio at Hasbro Studio, supervising producer at Hasbro Studios. Kevin Burke, who is the executive producer and head writer, and known to us as a writer for Transformers Rescue Bots. It will be at Boot B83, and it will be at the Marriott Convention Center in Burbank, California, 17th to 19th of November. So, sorry guys, it's gone.
Yeah, and we haven't had any info from it, so who knows what has happened, as we haven't been told yet.
Yeah, they had they had a couple of panels. I'm just gonna go. They had the Hasbro and Chill. Oh dear. I mean, that would be an interesting evening.
Oh well,
that would be an interesting panel if it went
there. So
yeah, I was also thinking that must have been there's only one woman on that panel. There's 2 women. Oh no, there's 2 women and 2 men. Oh no.
Yay.
I'm making this much, much worse.
You're not helping anyone, Mikey.
No, I'm not.
No.
I'm not. I'm also probably saying very inappropriate things.
More than
But
likely.
the panelists included Megan McCarthy, who's head of storytelling at Hasbro, Kevin Burke, producer, head writer, Patrick Archibald, and Colleen McAllister, TV executive. Then they had the Young, Scrappy, and Hungry, a look inside Hasbro Studios, which had all the same ones except for Patrick, and included Carl Wright, creative, executive of Allspark Pictures and Hasbro Studios. I'm curious to see what happens with this whole Allspark Pictures thing. And Mikhail Hauser, who is manager of development. And finally, there was the designing characters for Universal Needs. The panelists included Vic Cook, who is the executive producer, supervising director of Stretch Armstrong, Walter Gattis, who from Transformers, Joey Mason, who is art director at Stretch Armstrong, Sunder Wiener, I don't know how you pronounce it in American, senior product design manager for Action Brands team, and Kevin Evans, senior design manager for Hasbro Studios. So if anything did come out of this, I hope we hear about it soon. Because this sounds like a really interesting bunch of people to have in a room together.
Yeah.
And again, Hasbro and Chill. If you
so-
carry out Hasbro and Chill, we'd love to know about it.
I don't know about that. You know, I thought you were actually going to go with if any of these people want to come on and talk on Moonbase 2, they're more than welcome to. But you went for a different way.
I know what I want out of life.
I want to see those goddamn orgies, Andy. That's all I want from life.
I asked for very little. I want to see orgies and toys, preferably at the same time.
What's at the top of your list for your birthday and Christmas? Orgies. All of the orgies. I can't buy you them, Mikey. You could if you
orgies
love
as
me.
far as the eye can see.
So remember, guys, if you want to get Mikey something for Christmas this year, get him an orgy.
We'll set something up for TF Nation.
There you go. Oh, we get that game from Star Trek. You know, the one where everybody orgasms as they get the circles
and
and the hoops.
that game.
Yeah, you
mostly
do.
because that episode spent a lot of time with Wesley.
Oh.
Wesley sitting on a bed going, Right, let's move on.
This week, Titans Return was the thing that happened. So
Can't make me.
yeah, we're going to talk about it.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we are.
You're not the boss of me.
Yeah, it's too late. Both me and Mikey have seen it. There was also some other stuff as well. Well, we'll talk about it as well. Episodes 1 and 2 are available online. I saw it via a Russian Facebook page, I think it was.
I saw it by a Vimeo link up on TFW. Because guess what, people? The Go 90 thing is now exclusive.
Yeah.
So we'll probably get it over here via Sky or something like that. Because that's how you release a web series.
Yeah.
It's a web series. You don't do global releases.
No.
That would be silly. That would be you're silly.
No one's going to pirate this show. Promise.
No, because so many of us are rushing in America and elsewhere to Go 90, to subscribe to Go 90 for this.
Mm-hmm.
Or to even just log on to Go 90 and go through whatever ads they put up. I'm sure everyone is doing that, and no one is going to Vimeo or YouTube or whatever, because those are the first place anyone goes for any of these things. Why isn't it just up on YouTube, you fucking idiots?
See, I'm kind of happy Titans Return is back. I'm kind of pleased.
This feels like a trap.
It's it's not a trap. And I say this because I get to see the fun times that Mr. Chris Vangelis does for his comment videos, where he has a clip, he makes a comment, and I have a chuckle.
Those were fun.
Yeah, that's another fun thing.
14
that
seconds
returns.
Mistress of Flame.
Not the Mistress of Flame.
No, her name is Mistress of Flame.
No, her name is
not
Mistress. They just call her Mistress.
Yeah, it's not her title. Like, she doesn't have a title. It's literally just her name.
Yep. I was really hoping. I planned to try and find like a meme that just said "Ooh, matron," and then Photoshop her face on, and then cross off matron and put Mistress.
Yeah,
but I couldn't be bothered.
The best thing, of course, was the return of Bink.
Yes, we didn't think it was going to happen, but the Bink returns. Yep. You know,
Bink returns. Bink.
And since we're speaking about the episodes, let's talk about sound design, Mikey, and how it's improved.
Holy fuck!
What is sound design?
Did they see Combiner Wars and go like, we should, we must do worse?
Yeah, we've set a bar. We've got to attain better or worse.
We got a low bar. We got a low bar. It's pretty low. It's down there. Now, if we can just sort of like limbo down, get as low as you can go. Oh my god.
Now, for those not aware, what we're talking about specifically is the mixing of the audio, the background music, and the voice dialogue of one particular character, Hot Rod or Rodimus. As when I first went through the episode, I wondered if it was me that just found him completely inaudible. But then I saw a lot of other people saying, I just don't know what he's saying. I felt a lot better about myself, you know?
Yeah.
That was just me being an old man at this point. It
Didn't
wasn't.
help the Council of the Primes were also terrible in terms of the audio, which was like, what? It's Zande or someone. Well, he's the Chocolate Rain guy.
Oh, is that who it was? Okay.
Yeah, doing the Council of the Primes. And it's just like, their audio was also terrible.
I saw what they were trying to do. They were trying to do the LED effect, which they had back in the 80s, and I thought, that's a nice idea, but you didn't do it right, because I can't understand them.
I can't understand them. And then underneath you, just something like, I don't want to run a sword anymore. I want to do Hot Rod.
Yeah, Judd Nelson was...
What do you mean you can't understand me? I said I want to do Hot Rod.
Judd Nelson was certainly not giving his A game.
The combination of the worst audio processing they have produced for this continuity with an atrocious performance.
Yeah.
That was not an A game. That was not a game. That was I have bought the tools to play the game, but they're on my floor.
Oh.
I will not be engaging with the game. I just like having it here.
Yeah.
It was terrible. He actually is a hobo.
Oh.
And oh my god, it was really, really bad. Like,
it was noticeable how bad it was.
Yeah, I mean, it was shocking. It was genuinely shocking how bad the audio was on Hot Rod.
Yeah.
And the music was weird.
Yeah. It feels like we've gone back exactly to the same kind of standards of Combiner Wars. I think it's a little bit more engaging than Combiner Wars. I think it's a little in the few things I can think that are positive. I think it's a little bit more engaging than Combiner Wars was when it first started.
Well, I think it is because it's basically picking up a story that's already ongoing. I mean, this is taking off literally within hours of the last one ending.
Yeah.
But yeah, the music got me just because I felt like someone was watching Stranger Things and said, I can do that.
Oh, God, yeah, there's certainly a vibe of, get the synths out.
Yeah, oh my god, so much synth. They do show a clip from, like in the first episode, from Combiner Wars, and it does show that the animation has improved.
It has, yes.
It's less framey. It's still pretty framey.
Yeah.
Visually, so there is that, but they have more time as well, so we essentially have a full episode.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so, we have a 20-minute episode.
Yeah, instead of 5 minutes, which it was 5 minutes, wasn't it? In the last series, yeah.
So right, but at this stage, the show was half over.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Think about that. And this is going to go for 5 weeks, 6 weeks, something like that.
I think so. Yeah.
So it does flow better. But we found out who the bad writer was, by the way.
Oh?
It's F.J. DeSanto, who I found out wrote and was the head story guy on most of Combiner Wars. It turns out he's also the main writer for this show.
Oh, good.
And it really shows. It really fucking shows. So anyone blaming Adam Beechin, anyone who spent a week on TFW bitching him out because I saw it, or on Cybertron or whatever, not his fault. He'll probably come in for one episode.
This is why I said, do you remember when we saw that video and it's just, poor Adam Beecham. You need to pick your projects, man. Yeah,
come to us, Adam. We will talk to you. We'll just talk to you like you're a guy.
Yeah.
This is a lot of shilling in this episode.
No, it's the only way that people will know to come to us.
I mean, Andy, sum up the plot.
I gotta try and remember. Okay, so it picks up from where it left off. Starscream's dead, or is he? ? And Windblade's talking to Titan. Prime decides he's not going to help rebuild. He's going to drive off to go somewhere and leave all of the heavy lifting and everything in Mistress of Flame's hands. And then Trypticon reawakens, and that's about it. Oh no, they decide that it's probably a good idea to try and stop Trypticon after a while of figuring out what the hell's going on.
Oh my god. That was a true... Oh, what? Why did no one notice the dinosaur?
Or the explosions. I also wondered like what was happening on Cybertron, because there seems to be no one lives there.
Yeah, it's the most empty place in the world, but if it's just everyone was running around, like Windblade goes looking for fighters, and it's just like, really? All you can find are Perceptor and 4 jets?
Yeah, there's no one else.
But there's this scene of Trypticon's outside, and there's like explosions, there's like mushroom clouds.
Yeah.
And
can you stop these earthquakes? Come on.
Windblade has her eyes closed communing with Metroplex, who is voiced better than he was last time because different voice actor.
Sure.
But, and then she wakes up and just like, oh, what's a Trypticon? And then she notices the giant explosion. And then she runs off to grab anyone else, and people are still just wandering around, just like, they're all looking at it, but no one's noticing it.
And you see people, but again, it's just like 4 people.
Yeah, 4 guys.
Actually,
4 guys wandering around and around.
It's 3 people.
And the combiners.
Yeah.
Who, long haul talks.
He does, he gets a line.
He does. We still don't see him combine, but I suspect it's because you'll never see any of the other ones modeled. Stormclash is there as well. She gets name called.
Oh, the helicopter from Victorion. Yeah.
But yeah, Rodimus has decided he's had enough and has given up the Matrix.
That's right. He gets his arm back as well at some point.
It regrows.
Yep.
And apparently this makes him an asshole who has no real concern about someone showing up and murdering a city.
Yeah.
Because he's like, sure, we'll do something. Not my problem. I think that's what he said anyway. Oh, God. Do you know what's got me in this one?
What's that?
Real drop in the voice direction.
How so?
The voice actors are going to get a lot of flack again because people like to blame them.
Well, it's because they're the face. People can put a name and a face together and go, "Oh, it's their fault," because they're the only person I know here.
Yeah, and for the most part, with 2 notable exceptions, I think the voice actors did a perfectly good job. I think there's some people who could have a real career in voice acting. I think Windblade's one. She's got real talent. The problem was she's directed terribly. Like, she comes in to look for fighters, and she meets Perceptor, and she has all the urgency of someone who forgot their shopping list.
Well, when you see a giant dinosaur stomping through an empty city, it's not that big of a deal.
No. I'm just looking for fight. And then she's like, listen, Perceptor, oh, fine, we'll look at your thing, but I've really got to go after this. Meanwhile, in the distance, oh, God, we're being killed.
See, I would have, in my head, I imagined Windblade was just like a small child that needed the toy. I was like, come on, I don't care. Stupid science.
Will Wheaton plays Will Wheaton playing Perceptor, but I think he does fine.
He's fine. Again, it's not the voice I would have for Perceptor,
no.
But it's
The worst performances, there are 3 ones that really let down performance-wise, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Judd Nelson, who I think takes the fucking cake. Mistress of Flame, because I think even with the bad direction, she's got some bad delivery of the lines.
Again, she has... I think she's been miscast. I would have had a lady with a much more powerful voice. Yeah, authoritative voice.
I'd have a much older woman.
Yeah.
Like someone in her 50s or 60s. Someone with some gravitas.
Yeah.
Because I think you're one playing her. It's another one of the YouTubers.
Oh, really? Okay.
And this is such a shame to have to say. I hate saying this. I hate saying this so much. My God, Peter Cullen.
Is this? Are you rubbing your nipples right now in pleasure?
No, I'm really not.
I love talking about Peter Cullen and hating on him.
He is audibly disengaged with this role.
Yeah.
Yeah, but...
Well, that leads us nicely on to a little interview that Peter Cullen did. And the questions that we have up on here, there are more, but these are the 2 questions that were highlighted. What is the one thing that you look for in an offer to play Optimus Prime that makes you say, in quotations, yes?
Money!
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't say that, but... he's an actor. He needs money. So
also, I'd love to see him say no, just because I want to be in the Hasbro room when that's. No, I'm not really interested in this version. What?
This is where I'm drawing the line. This is the project.
Yeah.
So he goes on to say, it'd be no surprise to say that, in brackets, it's the consistency of the character. As long as the character is the original, then it's a go. Let that sink in. If it varies from it without good reason or explanation, then I've never had to say no, but I would if it didn't meet those things. So that's not entirely true, Peter. I would argue.
You have made it slightly clear you're not entirely happy playing a certain version of this character.
Yeah, but you still do it, but you may not be happy about it.
Yeah.
Because it hasn't made you say no yet, because they've probably offered you money and you've been like, whoa, that's a lot. And I don't blame him. Like, if someone said, hey, Andy, do you want to do this job that you won't feel very satisfied for, but here's a lot of money, I'd be like, oh, fucking yeah, come on then. You'll feel really dirty and gross at the end of it, and you'll have to kind of go back on your morals and your principles. I'll be like, morals? Fuck them, I've got a fuck ton of money. Sucking on my titties. As I'm doing blow in the clubs, because that's how Andy rolls.
Indeed.
So the next question is, what's, and then in brackets, your all-time favorite moment or scene as Optimus Prime? Right, so Peter goes on, I would probably have least favorite scenes, laughs. Okay, that's
I hope he just said it.
Yeah.
I would probably have least favorite scenes, laughs.
Yeah, that's it. I would include the most important one when I did the death scene. Which one? Which one, Peter? I know which one he means, but, poke the bear. The other ones are doing all the screaming. The other ones, that sounds like something you would say, the other ones.
Yep, the other ones. Yeah, most of them, really. I really just don't like my job.
The other ones. They do all the screaming, yelling, blood throat scenes.
I wonder when these ones are.
Yeah, those are my least favorite. My most favorite scenes, which they don't do enough of, are when he's written to express compassion and understanding. All of the movie, then. They never really want to express that level of Prime, which I thought was his most important valuable trait. Something he did on super rare occasions in Transformers Prime. Painfully rare occasions, like in 3 episodes.
Yeah, that one time he wasn't Optimus Prime.
Yeah, when he was Orion Pax. But I would agree with him. I think Prime's most important parts are when he expresses compassion and understanding.
Yes, it's when he's most engaging. It's when he's most interesting and most sympathetic. It's a reason the Optimus Prime in the comics is probably, in my opinion, the best version of him, because he is distant, but it's entirely for human reasons.
I'd say as well, it's why people liked him in the cartoon, because it was
he played basketball.
It was compassion and understanding in the essence of an 80s cartoon where everything was a bit dumb and silly and not super well written. But like you say, he played basketball. He had a snowball fight.
He was a nice guy.
Yeah.
He was actually he was a leader. He was someone you could engage with. He was your dad.
Yeah.
He was that friendly father figure. And I have to admit, when I read this, everything came together.
How so?
I have been saying for several years that Peter Cullen needs to stop. And I have unfairly, I think, been putting blame on Peter Cullen. Like, they hire Peter Cullen and they write Prime for him.
Yeah.
This made everything make sense, because I have been thinking his performances have been getting noticeably worse with each role. Prime was kind of the peak recently, and his stuff in Age of Extinction was better, but, he clearly wasn't happy about it after all of it. But last night he did a terrible job. An almost indefensible job. R.I.D., he sounded... There was emotionless and there was dead. And I'm not sure which side he fell on. And in Titan's Return, he sounds terrible. And because he is disengaging with the character, because for the same reasons we're disengaging with the character. The writers are writing this guy to be this boring, stoic, unrelatable character. He's not a leader, he's not a figure of respect, he's a robot.
Literally, yeah.
Whereas Peter is sitting there going like, I got into this character originally because of he was human. He said he modeled him after his brother, who he saw as a real hero. Like, Peter Cullen is probably as disengaged with Optimus Prime as we are, except it's his job.
Yeah,
and he's probably signed contracts to agree to play him when called, whenever. And it just made so much. Everything came together for me. I mean, everything. You know what? I really wouldn't have said this a week ago, but if we could get him to do an animated version of either RID or Optimus Prime, and have it with the actual dialogue, no shifts or anything else, I would say get Peter Cullen to do it, because he needs that. He
needs a role where he can enjoy it.
Where all right, he's a bit standoffish, but this is why. And here's him he's trying to deal with Prowl, and here's him trying to deal with politics and Aileron and a million other things, and trying to just be the guy he wants to be. I would love to see him play the Optimus with a bit of idealism in him.
Yeah.
And I think he would too. And I wouldn't have said that a week ago, Andy. If you'd have told me that we're doing an animated version of the comics and we've hired Peter to do it, I would have been pretty pissed, to be honest.
I think it's the thing that we just mentioned when we talked about Will Wheaton. People blame the voice actor because they're the one that you see, rather than you don't know who does the writing, and you don't know what the writing is, so you can only blame the face man, and he's unfortunately the face man. Like you say, it would be nice to see him play an Optimus Prime that can do something, where he can actually exercise some acting chops again and add something to the character. Who knows if that'll ever happen, because Optimus Prime's been stuck in this awful rut since 2007, effectively, since Animated died, or was cancelled at least. And we've just had Movie Prime, in varying degrees of less murdering. It's still just Movie Prime, unfortunately. Yep. So what are you going to do? We'll leave it at that, because we've talked probably enough about Titan's Return. But Mikey,
stop stalling scenes. For the love of God, why did it take him so long to turn?
Because he was an asshole, clearly.
He was blinding her before he drove off.
Seems, and just tooted at her for no reason.
There's a lot of panning scenes that don't need to be there.
Yeah. Do you want to take the last three stories then, Mikey, as they're all toy-related and not super long either?
Yeah, so first up, we have an in-hand look at the Power of the Prime Starscream torso. And someone did a review of the Wave 1 Power of the Primes Deluxes. And it's a Chinese reviewer, Kevin Liu. And it seems he has acquired, through perhaps sneaky backdoor means, i.e. the way we all got toys in 2007. Yep. He has acquired the Grimlock and the Starscream, the Voyagers. Now, we saw Grimlock, but there's not much to say about that. But he showed Starscream for size comparison only. So we got to see Starscream's jet mode, and yes, stickers aplenty.
Yeah.
But we also got to see his combined torso mode, which is, broadly speaking, kind of movie Starscream. But
yes, actually, yeah, that's a good point. The way that the chest looks is actually kind of movie Starscream. Huh.
I'd also say, rather noticeably, about a degree removed from Leo Kaiser, like traditional Leo Kaiser. Like,
yeah.
it would not take much remolding.
No. Well, that's what we've said for a while now, I suppose, isn't it? That's the dream, and why we've hoped Japan has been putting off doing a real one.
And also, those stickers are going to be a nightmare.
They are awful. They are in the worst place. Yep, you're always going to be touching them.
Always touching, there's so many joints around them, everything else. Just like Ripper Labels is going to have a feckin' field day.
Yeah, I'd say as well, probably get some sticker sealant, because you can get stuff like that, like Mod Podge, and you just kind of slap that in over the top, and it'll hopefully keep your stickers on. Not that I think these ones should be kept on, because they're awful and foily, and they look so cheap.
They do.
But yeah, sorry, go on, Mikey. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, but I'm really looking forward to seeing this guy as Alita. And like I said, I think I'm going to put at least a 51% chance, conservatively, that Leo Zach is on his way. That's from someone.
From both countries, or do you think just Japan?
I think Japan's your money man, because them not doing Leo Kaiser seems odd in and of itself.
Very much so, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the actual combined mode looks pretty solid. The head's not great, just because they've gone with the crown head, but they've rounded it off.
Yeah.
So it looks a bit odd. But Andy, what's your thoughts on this guy?
The torso. I mean, we don't see it in full frame just because we haven't. Neither me nor Mikey, I don't think, have watched the video. But it looks like it's a pretty solid body. That's different. Like you said, stickers are in terrible places. The head, I don't want to have a Starscream with a crown on. I think it's dumb. But making Starscream a combiner is also pretty dumb in itself as well. So yeah, I
He's
think
a share.
Yeah, I wonder if I'm interested to see what they'll do for Alita. I'm hoping her head would be better. But I think this mold might become more alive, if and when it becomes a Leo Zack.
I think the colors would really make it pop.
Yeah, I think so. Unless they want to make him Death Saurus like they did for the American box set. Oh, what a choice. What a choice. Yeah. Oh, and we can also see that the Dreadwing, that one, I complained that his wings were too far back, and it definitely does seem like we suspected. You can put the wings forward, and it really helps the toy a lot more.
Yep.
So that's good. People seem to be buying it. I don't know about you, but I've seen like not hundreds, that's hyperbole. I've seen a crap ton of people on my Twitter and stuff putting up messages and things going, I've got them. And I'm like, wow, so many people are buying them straight away. And that's good.
They came out real, I think they came out kind of a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah, because I thought it was meant to be the first, as far as I remember.
I thought it was January that they were coming out.
No, no, it was definitely meant to be the 1st of December, to hit that Christmas time.
Yeah, but yeah, so presumably, hopefully we'll see them over here soon enough, because I do want to pick the Dinobots up, and now I want to pick up Jazz. But I suppose I'd get Dreadwing if I was getting all of them, but I don't know. I'll worry about that later. But,
that's future Mikey's problems.
That's future Mike, he's not real. But yeah, it's cool. It's cool they're all coming out. Moving on from that, a little bit of news from Hong Kong via the Hobby Miser Facebook page. Toys R Us Hong Kong has a Titan's Return Grotesque on the shelves. We don't have a price here for him, but he is on sale. He's in a week. They've opened the box to show you the figure inside, which is a bit odd to me, but he is clearly in some Toys R Us warehouse, so it's probably pretty likely he'll be hitting the US at some point soon. Not a shock. We were all expecting with RC, which wasn't cancelled. Totally not cancelled.
Nope.
Yep. The last bit of news is we have Power of the Primes packing collector variant cards. These are the cards that come with, or we got information on them rather, and it sort of names the 12 primes and their attributes. So we've seen on the releases that the characters all come with a card which has the character name and the associated prime name, which gives them the various abilities. Like, so each one's Jazz is associated with Liege Maximo.
Yep.
Naturally. Because if there's one thing you can say it's Jazz, he's all for the lying and the cleansing.
I mean, of course. Is this just a suggestion of what's going to happen with him in the comics?
Don't know. Well, what they're saying here, from the start, right from the start, when the line's collector cards were first shown, the Astute were picking up different packaging samples were showing different collector cards. Now that the line has been released, we can confirm that every figure, in fact, has one of 12 different collector cards included at random. The front of each card shows the same awesome artwork. The back, however, has one of 12 different short one-line bios explaining how the power of the Ancient Primes affects each character individually. For example, Jazz with the power of Amalgamous Prime may shift modes like a DJ mixing songs, while Jazz with the power of Liege Maximo is the universe's smoothest talker. I think that's super neat.
Yeah.
Got sort of a blind bag effect where what power will your figure have?
Yeah.
But so the various powers that have been revealed are Micronus has power linking or power sharing.
Hang on. Power linking, like back in the day kind of power linking.
Back in Hennerjohn days. Liege Maximo with smooth talking and eloquence. Vector Prime with time travel and precision timing. Alchemist Prime with transmutation of matter and changing physical or mental states. That's the same thing, except for, now mental. Alpha Trine just gets knowledge. You don't get an extra option. People know things. Quintus Prime gets Creation of Life and Evolution.
Mm-hmm.
Megatronus gets Destruction and All-Out Attack. Solus Prime gets Forging Weapons and Armor. Onyx Prime, the least defined, seems to bring out animalistic traits. Kind of obvious.
Yeah.
Amalgamus Prime, transformation specifically into a form better suited for the situation. Nexus Prime combination, and Prima, justice, light, and freedom. Those who kept track of certain things we're not allowed to show anymore may also remember that we're getting Micronus, Elite Maximum, Vector Prime in Wave 1, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so I think that's a neat little gimmick. I mean, I worry that someone's going to try and get all 12 cards for each character.
Oh, no. No.
Like, eBay will be such a bitch.
I don't think they will, because I usually... don't most people just get rid of those cards? Like, I've seen some people on the Facebook pages just trying to sell those cards for dirt cheap because no one wants them. I like those cards.
But now there's variants, Andy.
Oh, yeah, so now it's really important.
Variants. They're variable.
Yep, yeah, that's true. I mean, do you care which card you get in your figure?
I mean, I want something funny. So I want Grimlock Smooth Talker.
Yeah,
he's so eloquent and everything else. I want Grimlock Eloquence, or I want Sludge.
Would it be like when Grimlock's New Brain, where he gets all smooth and sultry? Me,
Grimlock. Becomes British. Yes, I, Grimlock, will be leading you to the bedroom.
Oh my!
Oh yes.
I went to a different area.
Oh, there's only one way you go with Grimlock.
Jesus. Oh, for some of us, anyway.
Oh, dear. I think that's it for the news.
Yeah, that's us done, Mr. Mikey. So I guess the question is, what you been up to this week? What's been going on in the world of Mikey? Mikey World.
A few things worth noting. Haven't seen Justice League.
You want it, though?
No, I really don't.
Yeah,
I decided that I decided that based on one thing. I watched Justice League Secret Origin during the week.
Is that a new thing?
No, it's the opener for Justice League, the animated series.
Oh, okay. See, when you were telling me about this, I assumed you meant like there was a new DC animated short movie or something.
I just went out and watched. I just said, I need to set a standard.
Mm.
And I went out and I watched it. And it's a pretty solid opener. For the show, it's nothing special.
Oh, no, it's pretty low bar for the rest of the show. But, as a cartoon back in the day, it was pretty good.
Yeah, it's solid enough. Introduces all the characters. Blah, blah, blah.
All of the characters.
But I said I'd read some reviews, and if I saw a review that said it stood up to the opening of the animated series, I'd watch it in cinema.
Who would actually say that? Because that's an old cartoon these days. I'm not sure anybody would.
Do you have any idea how many articles popped up in the last 2 days about DCAU?
No.
You've no concept.
Was that a lot, was it?
A lot.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
But I wanted, but at least to get that vibe.
Right.
That it hit the same things, because that had a budget in the thousands, and they had a budget of 300 million. And I can't find one that gives me that impression. Even the best ones. Like, oh, this character gets forgotten, this character doesn't do anything, this character, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just thinking, the animated movie had less money, less running time, and all the same problems in terms of character introductions and everything else. Like, all the same ones. Kind of a weak villain, 2 characters very well established, everyone else much weaker, blah, blah. So if it's not as good as the cartoon produced in 2001 that had 90 minutes of runtime, I'm not watching it in cinema. And I don't think that's actually unreasonable to say. Because I'm not saying it has to stand up to the show, because it's not, ever. It just has to stand up to something that has less running time than it.
Sure.
And from what I can understand, it doesn't, because I've seen a lot of talk about bad pacing, some characters being forgotten, some terrible CGI. That seems to be the thing. I saw one clip of Cyborg. That 300 million? What did you spend it on? What happened to Weta? Have they gone blind? He moves his head, and it looks atrocious. I've never seen anything like it.
Justice League versus War for the Planet of the Apes.
Oh my god, don't.
CG.
Yeah, not even on the same fuck, the Rampage trailer looked better. The gorilla was better in the Rampage trailer.
Maybe.
It was, it was. I am amazed by how bad that CGI looks in every clip I've seen. It's really bad. And Steppenwolf as well, but who cares about Steppenwolf? Steppenwolf is unfortunately a leftover from when they had the idea of doing Darkseid really soon. Yeah, I won't see it in cinemas. Partly because that, and partly because I think it's a Zack Snyder movie, and no disrespect for the man, I think he's a fairly shit director.
Oh no. Oh jeez, there's better. Like name a good Zack Snyder movie.
None.
Yeah.
People say, "Oh, 300." I hate 300.
His most terrible. You know what I think his most competent movie is? Not good, but
Watchmen?
competent. Oh God, no.
Sucker Punch.
No, fuck off. Dawn of the Dead, the remake. His most competent, not good, but most competent movie.
Yeah. He's just not. He's very aware of a visual style. I just think it's a bad style.
That's literally all it is, though. It's literally just a style and nothing else.
It's not a good style either, unfortunately.
No.
But, so yeah, I won't be seeing Justice League in cinemas. I don't like going to see movies to hate them. I don't enjoy it. I went to see Wonder Woman because I thought I'd enjoy it, and I did. It didn't blow my mind, but I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I went to see Thor hoping I would enjoy it. I don't want to go spend that much money, especially travel and everything else, to hate something.
Sure.
Like, if it was a fun group thing and you're just walking down to cinema, it's a different matter, but I didn't see Batman vs. Superman. I still haven't seen the Ultimate Edition of that, but
no,
nothing can save that movie.
No.
And apparently, like, Warner Brothers made them cut out like 40 minutes of the film for Justice League.
Sure, I hear that.
And apparently it's really noticeable. Like, William Dafoe was cast. There are scenes filmed with William Dafoe, and he's not in the movie.
William Dafoe?
Who's
he meant to be?
Something to do with Aquaman. I'm assuming, like, his dad or something.
Huh.
Which would be an odd... Jason Momoa was born of William Dafoe.
Maybe he's meant to be Ocean Master or something like that.
Yeah. Or, what's his name? With the guy with the funny head design.
Henry Cavill.
Black something?
Manta.
Black Manta?
Yeah.
Yeah. Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll watch it on TV at some point. I'll watch it on Netflix. I will not be seeing it in cinema. So with that, I had a little bit of extra time because I was planning to, and then I saw the reviews. So I watched a little bit of a new anime, Quino's Journey: The Beautiful World. It's an interesting little show, remake of a show which was based on a manga from like the late 90s, early 2000s. It's a series of one-shot stories following a girl on her journey as she travels through an unnamed country. This is a country with lots of sci-fi and semi-magical elements to it. So she's on a journey, something to do with her old master. Quite meaningful, quite deep, quite topical.
Mm-hmm.
Dealing with some very heavy issues. Also, she is accompanied by her sort of sarcastic friend who happens to be a talking motorcycle. Like a really retro World War II motorcycle that can talk.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's really, really interesting. I knew about the old show. So when I saw this, I was very curious. The updated graphics, I think, maybe work against it a little bit, given the vibe they're trying for. But it's nice enough. But yeah, I like it. I like it quite a bit. I wanna keep on going with it. Haven't gotten back into Inuyashiki, but I had some stuff spoiled for it by someone at work.
Boo.
So I'm a little bit pissed over that. But yeah, Quino, I think I might keep watching it. I got to try, like, it's getting back into trying stuff now, so at least I'm making progress there. I deleted Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh yes, well that's a game.
I didn't finish it. Second, the controls are pissing me off because they're surprisingly bad. I mean, surprisingly bad. And then I hit the second to last boss, and the game physics make it impossible. They're so precise about where the guy has to be holding on.
Oh yeah.
Like, to a ridiculous degree. I would have been playing that one boss for 2 hours easily. I'm not kidding. 2 hours 2 hours is a conservative estimate.
Yeah.
It was taking so long and because then you fall off and then you have to go all the way back up to do all the stuff to climb back, and it takes 5 or 6 minutes every round. And I'm doing like one stab if I'm very lucky.
Yeah.
Per round with him, and it's just like, I give up. I was just like, I thought this game was very pretty, very stylistic, and that was getting me through it. This has completely ruined the experience for me. So I will play Ico, and if I ever get a chance, I will play The Last Guardian, because it looks like that's just prettier.
I hear that The Last Guardian is not very good.
I
I hear it's got
seen.
control problems.
Oh God. Well, it is a PS3 game that was released years too late.
Like getting your dog thing to do anything is apparently not the easiest.
Well, I know that's actually a function in it.
Yeah.
Like that's a purposeful thing, so I don't mind that.
But it doesn't actually do what you want it to when you ask it to do it. Like come over here and it just doesn't move.
Yeah, because the idea is that he's just not interested in you at that time. Like I read something on that. And it's like the idea is that he is an animal. Like, and if you call your dog, there's a 50-50 chance your dog is going to stare at you, thinking, "Why are you calling me?"
That sounds like a really fun game element.
Oh dear. Well, to be fair, the horse had a bit of that in Shadow Colossus. He really wanted to go left.
I'm not a fan
He
of any
really
of them,
wanted to go left. But I liked it. I like stylistically, it was so beautiful. It just like those controls. Like I'm very curious. I don't know. Like I've been told, Last Guardian is kind of like Shadow Colossus except with a story. So I am interested in that because I like the world. It's just I don't know. It's not a concern right now. Yeah, I sold a bunch of games actually.
Oh yeah.
After that, so I've got like a €40 voucher from CEX, and they happen to have Persona 5. So if I'm in town at any point, I'm gonna pick that up.
Oh.
And then lose my life. And I have been constantly opening and staring at my Steins Gate Zero.
Oh no.
Like, I want to hit start. Do it. I don't want to. It will break me. I don't want to see the sad world of Ocarina without Kurisu. It will not be fun. It's not. Oh God, he's supposed to be a happy, jolly scientist man, not guy with severe PTSD. Oh, dude, but I'm gonna do it. I'm probably gonna do it within the week.
Yeah.
You'd be amazed after what that game did to me, how hard it is for me to turn this thing on. But yeah, like you've seen the anime, and the anime does stuff to you, but you could see season 2 without too much bother. Like the game goes into it so much deeper. Oh, like it just destroyed me on so many levels, and it did it 6 times before I got to the end. 6 times. Yeah, apart from that, nothing major. Build 11. Kamen Rider Build though. Episode 11. Where we finally get to meet Kamen Rider, insert name pronunciation here. Because it's spelled cross with a Z. And it's kind of pronounced cross. So I'm just calling him Cross. He's just Kamen Rider Cross until someone corrects me otherwise, because that is one of those Japanese pronunciation of Romanized words things.
Right.
That just like they don't. That's one of those moments where you go, "It's not made for me." It's not made for me. The plot. Actually, quite rapid plot resolution is something I kind of hoped would be dragged on for a bit more. But main thing is they introduce Cross, and I really like the design. He's basically a symmetrical build with dragon armor put over the top.
Oh, okay.
So just before, like when he transforms the same way. His body forms up, and it's a blue build with a double dragon eyes.
Yeah.
And then an armor piece comes up behind and falls over the head and shoulders and makes him into the more unique design.
Oh, okay.
And there's a little bit of asymmetry in the color spread, but apart from that, it's I like it. I like the design a lot. His powers are a little boring, but it's early days yet. And yeah, lots of plot stuff. We find out where Bloodstark's weapon comes from. There's another Smash stuff. It's probably one of the slower episodes, all in all. It basically introduces the idea he should be a rider and then stalls until the end. So it's not the strongest, but hey, plot. Kamen Rider plot. But yeah, so that was my week. What about you, Andy?
I've been watching a few things. Me and you did a recording from the Files of Teletron 2 on the Wednesday, so that will be up for the people on Thursday this week for the freebie show. But without, of course, the excellence that is ROM versus Transformers.
Yes, you don't hear us gush.
Yeah. I watched some movies this week because I was catching up on stuff. I rewatched the Hobbit trilogy.
The
Hibbit. It's nowhere near as good as Lord of the Rings, but it was still quite nice to go through and rewatch bits of it. But it's just not as good. There's way too much bad CGI.
Hey Andy, that last hour and a half.
It goes on.
Though
I did feel I did cry at the end. I was like, no.
I cried when Smaug died.
Why? He was killing
was
hundreds of people.
Yeah, and he's the best character in the movie.
He was really good. He did get snuffed out too quickly because he was very engaging.
Like some people said, well, he dies quickly in the books. No, he dies off screen in the books.
Oh yeah.
Which means that it could take as long as you want.
Yeah.
But the CGI in that movie is that's wetter as well. But the CGI is like so bad. And I remember reading early on that they had like fully practical designs for loads of stuff, and it all got thrown out to do CG.
Yeah. It's disappointing. It's overblown. It shouldn't be 3 movies, and it's too much CGI. It's a shame because there's Martin Freeman does a really good Bilbo. He's
great.
Really, really good to watch as Bilbo Baggins.
Yeah. Just everyone around him.
Him
and Gandalf do their best.
I don't like Thorin. I think is okay.
He's okay. He's overplayed.
Yeah. And the problem with the rest of the dwarves is they're not characters.
Hey, but Andy, one is attractive.
Yeah, I'd do him.
Yeah, well, hey Andy, excessive, pointless female elf character.
Yeah, she was there.
She was terrible.
Yeah, she was trying to do an Arwen. Is that what her name was? She didn't do it though.
I would have been more interested if she was just like there and killing people.
Yeah, I did watch previously to that week a lore video on Sauron, like the lore of Sauron, and it was like an 1.5-hour video talking about all this stuff, and I learned about her elf, why she was shunned, and I was like, that's quite interesting, but it's never talked about in the film why she's shunned as why she's shunned as that kind of elf, and it's because those elves went crazy and started killing their own kind or something.
Yep.
And that would have been interesting, but they had no time. So, yeah, I watched some other stuff. Mikey said that War for the Planet of the Apes was worth watching. I hadn't seen it, but wanted to, so I finally saw it. It was good. Didn't cry at the end though. I thought it was a good end, but I didn't feel anything. Unfortunately, I was just like, that's a nice way to end the movie. It was a really good, satisfying end to 3 movies back to back. The Caesar adventure. It was. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah. Woody Harrelson, is that his name?
Yeah.
He's a good bad guy. He's a good asshole.
Yeah, 2-dimensional but good.
Oh yeah. He just goes kind of newty. I enjoyed it. It was fun. I also watched Wonderful Woman.
Do you know there's a movie about the creator of Wonder Woman now?
Really? Why?
I don't know. It's like the something of Wonder Woman. It just came out. I'm getting really good reviews. I'm tempted to see it, but I'm not going to.
Well, here's the thing. Wonder Woman. It's just okay.
It's a decent enough little film.
It's fine.
It has a bad end.
Yeah.
A really poor ending.
The way I would describe Wonder Woman is it's a better version of Captain America: The First Avenger.
Yeah. Like, she is way more likable than he is in that movie.
But I'd still, like, I really don't like Captain America: The First Avenger. I think it's pretty
terrible.
poor.
It is the worst Marvel movie, in my opinion.
Is it the worst?
Still is the worst, in my opinion.
Oh, I don't know about that. I'd put one of the Iron Man 2 or 3 probably below it, to be honest.
I wouldn't. I'd say
probably
at least
2.
They engage you. No, I like 2 way more than 3 is terrible. 3 is the worst one.
They're bad in different ways.
They're
bad in very different ways.
This is not my butt.
Ugh.
Not my butt.
Facts. Yeah, so Wonder Woman, I didn't feel a huge amount for it. I didn't see, like, when people say it's the best DC movie, I go, yes, but the bar's so incredibly low, who gives a shit? For Justice League, the thing that I was interested in was if people said it was better than Wonder Woman, I would be more hopeful for it. I've heard nobody say that. No one said it's better than the Wonder Woman movie. And if I only think Wonder Woman's just kind of fine, that doesn't give me any hope for Justice League at all. I don't know why people say that Wonder Woman's as good as it's meant to be, because it was meant to be this. I heard so many people gushing about it, and I was just like, I just didn't feel it.
I think I like it more than you, but I also don't think it's like the second coming of Jesus. But I think she is easily the most engaging of the 3 pre-Justice League protagonists.
Oh my!
Well, because she's like nice.
Well, yeah, but again, like I said, the bar's so incredibly low that I felt more connection with Jimmy Olsen from Man of Steel, if he was even in that. I don't even know if
He
he
wasn't.
was.
Jimmy
Was he
Olsen's
not?
Jimmy Olsen's in Batman versus Superman,
Was
where he is ein Betrayer and gets shot.
Yeah, see,
He
I
is
don't
not
I
a
don't
good
even
person.
remember.
Jimmy Olsen is not the Jimmy Olsen we know, because edgy Zack Snyder, edgy.
Yeah.
Look how you could cut yourself upon this edge. Batman is actually the villain. Will people please accept that of that movie?
Well, as of today, I did see a hero movie which I really thoroughly enjoyed, which was Spider-Man Homecoming.
I'm amazed. I'm not kidding.
I really enjoy that quite a lot. The villain is the best superhero villain I've seen in this era of superhero movies.
Oh, wow.
I can't think of another one that's better, because Loki's kind of just jokey jokes now.
Loki was the best one.
He was the best one. Kevin Conroy? Oh, Christ, I can't even remember his name. The guy that plays Vulture, whoever he is.
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton, thank you. Old Batman. Old Batman. They don't give him a huge amount of development, but they give you more, I think, than they've ever done before. They make you sympathize with him, and you go, okay, I can see why he's doing this. He's not just, I'm destroying the world, which is also quite nice.
Yes.
So you haven't seen Spider-Man, Mikey. I would certainly recommend watching it. The only character I didn't like was Ned, the best friend. Ned is the guy I just look at and go, Ned, you're just making my life harder if I was Peter. You're just making my life worse, and I'm Spider-Man, and I'm written to be the most shit upon character in comics. Happiness, not for Spider-Man.
Yeah. Well, no, he had happiness, and then one guy broke up with his wife and had a very bad divorce and ruined it for him and us.
And there's
that's actually what happened, you know.
That
is what happened with Joe Quesada.
There's a disturbing amount of people lusting after Aunt May. Like a disturbing amount of people right in front of Peter being like, hey, your aunt's pretty hot, and Peter just kind of stands there and looks at them like, dude, what the fuck?
What? That's weird. Like, don't do that. That's creepy.
It's really weird. I like every time it popped up, I was like, yeah, this is weird. Like a random dude in the sandwich shop he goes to is just like, oh, how's Aunt May? And then he says in another language, because the subtitles were turned off, I couldn't make out what he said, but I'm pretty sure it's like, Aunt May is a pretty hot lady, and he's like, in Spanish or whatever language he was talking, I wasn't sure. I'm pretty sure he said something, and the guy's like, hey, this sandwich is more for talking like that. And I was like, you're a random dude at a sandwich shop. Why are you talking about his aunt? Jesus! Stop talking about his aunt in front of him. Like, if you're going to lust after it, at least have the decency to do it behind his back. Jesus. But no, really would recommend it. It's a lot of fun. It's a fun little movie. So I was really happy to see that. On my birthday, I decided that, my Soto figures that you and others helped me get needed some paint, so I bought some paintbrushes and some acrylic paints. I have not yet painted them, but I plan to get some masking tape to hopefully help with the straight lines and whatnot. But I plan to make Dangerous Zombie and fill in the things that obviously they're not going to do at a candy toy level. So that's quite interesting. I'm going to try and develop a mediocre skill, and mediocre not because people who do it are mediocre, but mediocre because I'm never going to be good at it. I know that. But I at least want to try and make some of the figures I have look a little bit cooler. And then when stickers peel off, I won't feel super bad because the stickers on those things aren't good. You need sticker sealant to keep those things on. And so some of them just look terrible. So I'm just like, no, I'll try and learn to paint. It's a motivator. And that's all the interesting stuff I've done this week, Mr. Mikey, as far as I can remember.
Did you watch Build? I'm trying to remember.
Oh, yes, I did. I'm 2 episodes behind, 3 as of today. On Build, so I need to see episode 9, 10, and 11. But Build's a lot of fun. Build's good. I like Build. I'm still incredibly worried and scared for the longevity of Build, because stuff's always happening, and I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, Mikey wasn't joking. I like the steampunky element. Like Night Rogue, I think is a fantastic suit design. Really love it. I love the transformation for it as well. Whoever that character might be, for those people who haven't seen the show. Even though I thought it was kind of obvious.
Yeah, just a tad.
Just a tad. But I love the suit design. I love how the transformation works. I like Bloodstark as well. The only issue I have with Bloodstark is I'd like him not to have the horn.
The horn is very distracting.
It is. It works with Night Rogue, but I don't think it works with Stark.
Mm.
But maybe that's just the kind, because they're not common riders. They're whatever they are. That's just an element of how their suits work or their tech work or whatever. But yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot. And now I'm reaching that unfortunate point where I go, well, I gotta wait until the next week's episode, or I can wait 5 or 6 months and then have another backlog, which might be better. I don't know. I'm in that weird place of, do I just go in and watch more episodes, or do I let a big back catalog build up? I don't know. I don't know, Mikey. Anyway, that's our show done for this week, Mikey. I want to give a thanks out to Mike Ward, who is a new Patreon person. So thank you, Mike. You're a champ.
Thank you, Mike.
I hope you're enjoying the extra content and all that wazamataz that we give you. But Mikey, where can people find you on the internet if you want them to find you and all that stuff?
Hiding most of the time, but you can find me on Twitter as Irish Paleo, YouTube is GWolf3. You can find me in paleonerd.wordpress.com. You can find me over in the old oil house. And also I'm hiding, so you can't find me. I'm not here. I'm recording. I left like an hour ago.
Wow, that's impressive.
I actually pre-recorded this long ago, and it took a lot of work to predict what you were going to say. It's like so many algorithms going.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I don't know what to say to that.
Win.
Yeah. So, well, you can find me on Twitter and Tumblr, CCTFW, on YouTube as Cobra Commander TFW. You can find this podcast on the Moonbase 2 forums. We're on Twitter when Mikey uses it. We're on iTunes. We're on Facebook. We're on Libsyn. And you can find us on the YouTube page, which is Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast, where the episodes will go up there. And you can find me on... Oh, no, that's it. I've said those things. You can also, if you want, help out the podcast by heading over to patreon.com/moonbase2. And if you do $2 each month, like good old Mike Ward, you get things like the extended version of From the Files of Teletran 2, and you get it a week early. And you also get Moonbase Woo Woo, where I need to actually decide what we need to do for a Woo Woo this week. A month, I should say. And if you want to see my nonsense and all that kind of jazz, you can head over to ccbunker.weebly.com. And that's it, Mikey. We are done. Diddy done for the week.
Dun, dun, dun. That was terrible.
You are now leaving